Hey, how are you all? This is Tanisha Shanee, Miss Inspiration, here with a God-inspired message. I want you to know that I am so excited to share this because so many times we have plans, right? We have it all planned out. We know how we're going to do things. And then God would come in and say, oh, you thought you had a plan, but my plan is better. So today is actually, I'm referencing Deuteronomy 28, verse 12, and I'm looking at the second part of that scripture. And this is the one that everybody knows. Like you will lend to many nations, right? So you are the lender, and you will never need to borrow from them. So we hear it so many times. You are the lender. You're not the borrower. You're going to be the head, not the tail, right? And so I tell you that when God is trying to get all the glory, He is going to move and He's going to make things happen that you're never going to understand. So for many of you, you may not know, but last year, the end of last year, beginning of last year, I had a desire for a new car. I've had my truck at that time for about 13 years. Maybe almost 14, no, 13, 12, 13 years I had my truck. Truck was in pretty much decent condition. It wasn't a bad truck. But I just had the desire, and then COVID hit, so the kind of desire went away. Because COVID happened, there was a need of a special talent that I have, and no, I don't have a B613 type of talent, but there was a special talent that I had that was needed, and God blessed me. So there was opportunities for me to receive some increase in 2020. So I kind of felt like I was toying with the idea still of buying a car, but then I was just like, you know what, God, I don't need, kind of like going through the process of the wants and needs that I talk about in my other books. I don't need another car. I don't need a new car. It would be nice, but I don't need it. So move forward, end of the year comes up. It's now holiday season, and I literally take my car to get service because there was a recall, and I said, let me be obedient since I'm going to keep my car, since I'm intentionally going to make sure she is in up and up and she is correct. Take her for the recall. They do the recall. I was like, oh yeah, I also have this issue. Can you check it out? Everyone was telling me don't let them do it, leave it alone, but I really could not find any mechanics that could fix this problem. So I kind of was like desperate. So I go ahead and I allow them to do it. I pay. The problem was never fixed. So I take it back. And so Lord and behold, I take the car back before Thanksgiving, thinking I was going to get my car, before Thanksgiving. And I get a phone call. So I drop my car off on a Thursday, and I get a phone call Monday afternoon telling me that my vehicle was stolen. And so I'm sitting here like, wait, God, somebody stole my car. Stole my car, not from me, not on the street. What is going on? And of course, I went through the emotions. I was very angry. If I could find the cop who called me, he probably would I would just arrest you for just you being you on the phone. But then I just realized this is just what it's gonna be, right? It was already set in my heart that I was not gonna have this car, right? God placed it. It was like such a peace, and it was just like, you're not gonna have this car anymore. You're not. So then I was surprised when I got the call, 3:00 in the morning. My car was found in Staten Island, and I had to pay $60 to go to Staten Island because they said it's easier. We could just release the car. It's drivable, and we can release it to you, and you don't have to worry and pay fees and everything else. So I appreciated how the cops handled it because they helped me to alleviate from having to pay hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars, to get my vehicle out. I got back to Brooklyn until I realized that my vehicle was smashed. The person who had stole my car in the back, they had, we don't know what they crashed into, but there was the brake indicator kept going off. It was just a big hot mess. And trust me, my car was old, but she was not a hot mess. So I pretty much was just like, you know what, God, you're right. I'm not going to have this car. And I just had to just let that be the reality. I'm not going to have this car anymore. It's just going to be what it is, and move on in my life. So once I did that, I was actually at a lot of peace, and I just let it go. They gave me, I knew that what I was going to get was going to be more than me trying to do a trade-in, because I think Carvana was trying to play me for like $100. I'm like, come on, $100. So I knew what I was getting from the insurance company was going to be 10 times better than what I was going to get any other deal. So now I'm annoyed because, one, I have to get another car note. I didn't have enough money to pay for my car outright the way I wanted to. I did not want to borrow. But so the first thing was, it's not that I was like, I knew that I could go 100% without borrowing any money. But I was like, even though they say I could pay it back in 5 years, God, I want to pay it back in 2 years, right? Give me this strategy. I asked God, give me this strategy so that I can pay this off in 2 years. I don't want this car note for long. That was the mistake that I made with my last truck. I won't even tell y'all the terms of that vehicle. I know I paid too much money at the end for my car, but it is what it is. You learn from your financial mistakes, which I have. But I had to, go in, and I had to get this. So found a vehicle that I like. I was like, great, I'm going to just take my car. I'm going to put the money down, and 2 years. A little door had opened up, and I was like, all right, perfect. How I had everything planned out in my head. And my head was like, this is a perfect situation, because every 4 weeks, I'll definitely have this paid off. If not 2 years, I could probably do it in a year and a half, right? That was my thing. So I told God, at least a year and a half, I'll be able to, because this door was opened. Quickly, as I thought the door was open, was as quickly as God showed me that this door was not going to be a reliable door. What do you mean a reliable door? And I remember hearing that, because I felt like, yes, this is going to be and God was like, pipe down. This is not going to be a reliable door. And like I said, just that quick, it showed me like a matter of literally 8 weeks. God shows me this is what I'm talking about. So you're going to depend on something, and it's not going to always be there. So we need to come up with another game plan. And so the opportunity that came to me from 2020 due to COVID was presented to me for this year. And so I said, duh, of course. So here was, God took away that whatever I was planning on, it was taken away completely. God was like, this wasn't even for you, but I had to let you go through this because you felt this was going to be your game plan. You gave yourself 2 years. I'm about to do something that no one has ever seen before. So when I started, I got my car December. I didn't make my first payment until January. My car is now paid off 6 months later. 6 months later. That's not me. That's not because I'm balling out. That's not because my business has started already to manifest into what I know is going to be. That's not because of that, because God did not want me out here borrowing money and owing people and paying, like, I think when I did the math based off of the conditions that I had, if I would have continued paying, I would have been paying an extra $6,000 to $7,000 in interest. When I did the math, I think I only paid about $500 in interest over 6 months. $500 in interest over 6 months. So I share that because, again, we have to get into this mindset that even if you do have to borrow, God is not going to borrow. You're not going to borrow on their terms, on the world's terms, right? That doesn't mean that the world is going to say, here's a 5-year agreement. At the end, you're going to owe me $6,000 extra. God is like, we don't have time for that. Those $6,000 can be redirected to funds that's going to actually add value to your life. We're not going to be out here paying back loans that's going to just bring nothing but more debt into your life. So when you do, like I said, 2 years, that could have been over $2,000 in interest that I would have paid over 2 years. And God was like, no. And he made it so that I was able to pay it off in 6 months. And technically, when I really looked at it, I really did it in 3 months. All God. So your plans are nothing compared to God's plans. And when things start to go wrong, don't even stress. When opportunities seem to be like, I thought everything was good, what happened? Don't worry about it. God has it all under control. Nothing is a mystery. Nothing is out of shock. Nothing is going to surprise God. God sits back and he's like, I already knew that was going to happen. This is why I had this set up. And this is why it was set up intentionally for this manner, so that you can, and you're like, oh, snap. God, you did that for me. That's how God works. So I'm telling you, please tap into whatever God is telling you to do. Listen to those instructions. Your plans are nice. You can put that plan down. You can write it. God loves when we have a plan, because that's telling God that you're serious about something. But at the real end of the day, God is like, I got things for you to do. And some of you haven't even written down the plan. So you don't even know. So I'm like, that's the good part, right? Because we'll write that plan down. I have wrote it down. I want to pay my car off by, and I put a date. I wrote that down. I had a plan, and I'm going to do this, and it's going to be this way. And every month I'm going to pay this extra. I had a plan, and God took that plan and said, I'm going to overturn it, and I'm going to make it even better. But thank you for even taking the initiative of putting down a plan, so that I have something that we can really work with, so that you can always go back to that plan and be like, dang, yo, I was about to give myself 2 years, and God said, I'm going to do it in 6 months, which really was in 3 months. That's the kind of God that we work with. That's the kind of God that I want us to believe in and have that much faith in, that if you can take a plan out of 1 year, 2 years, and God can turn it around in 3 to 6 months, come on now. Why wouldn't you tap into this? Why wouldn't you want a relationship with God? Because he's going to get all the glory. But it's not just to give him the glory. It's really to say, like, yo, like, there's an amazing life out here that's meant for us, for you, for me. I'm no one special compared to you. However, I believe and I have faith, and I want to step into that, and I want to tap into that, because every time I surrender my plans to God, and that's pretty much what it is. You're surrendering your plans to God, and he's going to turn it around, and he's going to just get some amazing glory out of it. So I want to encourage you today, like truly, I want to encourage you to continue to tap into God, put those plans down, be okay with God doing everything. Don't get flustered when those opportunities close. Don't get flustered. It's not, you didn't do anything wrong. And God is just about to turn around, and he's about to do everything right in your life. Okay? So I'm Tanisha Shanee, Miss Inspiration. I hope you have an amazing day today.